Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Deja Vu, and this is going to be set 3 of KTF MagicNs versus Hwaesung Oz. This is the Shinhan Bank Pro League 0809 Round 4 Week 4. The map is Heartbreak Ridge, and the players are in the 9 o'clock position for KTF. It is going to be the Zerg player Hoejja, who's a up-and-coming player, and I actually really like him. He's a pretty creative player and everything. He's been pretty good so far. And in the 3 o'clock position for Hwaesung Oz is a Protoss player, Backho, who at the beginning of the game is not even keeping both of his hands on the controls because, well, there's nothing really to do other than to spam. And Heartbreak Ridge is a really fun map. It's actually so far 2-1 Protoss versus Zerg, with Stork beating 0 and Great beating Sangho. Technically, there's another win in there for Protoss where Sangho beat this guy Killer, but Killer was pretty subpar. He was not up to snuff at all. He was not prepared, I don't believe, for that match. And Backho's worst matchup actually is versus Zerg. He's only about 34% or so, and Hoejja versus Protoss is actually 54%. It's his. I mean, he hasn't played a ton of games, so it's not too indicative, but yeah, that is his second best matchup actually. And Pylon going down for Backho at the natural. He's just going to go for the standard Forge Fast Expand. I hope he takes into account the fact that because this is Heartbreak Ridge, there is that in the top right there is a Xel'Naga Temple and a mineral field that Hoejja is actually going to be mining out, and yeah, that will open an avenue of attack between the choke of. Between the main and the natural, there's a tiny choke, and then there's a ramp between that choke and the actual mineral line of the natural. And once those mineral lines get mined out, that becomes an avenue attack for Zerglings or Hydralisks, probably Zerglings, I would assume, for their speed to get out there. And I hope Backho knows it, or at least is prepared with his cannon and everything. Hopefully with his placement it will be able to handle that. And another drone going out for Hoejja. This is probably for a 12 hatch here at the natural. He's going to go check for proxies there up on that ridge. And I actually haven't seen any proxies go down on that ridge, but it seems like that is a popular place to, or should be a popular place to place it. And Hoejja actually not throwing down the hatchery yet. He is just sitting there waiting. And Backho being very risky here, throwing down that Nexus before any cannons. He was taking it for granted that Hoejja was going to be going for a 12 hatch and not going for a 9 pool or a 12 pool. So yeah, that was very audacious of Backho, but he guessed correctly, and he is going to be okay with doing that. Hoejja did just throw down his hatchery as well, and Backho's trying to go in here and do some harassment, but that's not going to do too much. And the mineral patches in the top right are mined out. Those Zerglings can head that way if they so choose. And Backho is definitely scouting this entire thing out with his Overlord. He knows that there's a gap there. And Backho now going back there to go check it out. He's going to see that the minerals are gone, but the Zerglings are not there yet. And is he going to go high enough? Backho, keep going. You're going to see it. And yes, Backho does see it. He might be able to just place a pylon there or something, although that pylon will probably just go down. But yeah, he is aware that that gap exists. So he will be able to prepare for it however he's so choosing, and I have to think that he knows that this is a possibility and has something planned. Throwing down a pylon here at the front again to form a stronger gap there, and the Zerglings for Hoejja are actually going to move into that top right position and take advantage of the minerals being mined out. Hoejja also throwing down a 3rd hatchery at the bottom left position, and he's going to be going for a 3 hatch build of some form. And Hoejja Zerglings now going down the right side of the map. They are through the mineral line. Backho doesn't see this quite yet. He knows it's a possibility. He has a probe on the ramp to block, but I don't think that's going to be enough. This could be problematic for Backho. Backho now sees it, and Hoejja walking in, and that cannon going to do some damage, but Hoejja can probably just go right by, although these Zerglings are being blocked off by the probe so well. Wow, Backho. That was ridiculous. How the heck did Backho... That was incredible micro by Backho to keep only by allowing only 2 Zerglings into his main, and that should not do too much damage. Backho's probe micro should be good enough that 2 Zerglings will not do very much. And yeah, that was a great block by Backho. Very impressive there. And he's gonna go... There's still 2 Zerglings wandering around, so they're at least getting a scout in, and Hoejja has to be careful because one of those Zerglings is almost dead already. Cybernetics Core and Second Assimilator going down now for Backho, and yeah, this is just 2 probes versus 2 Zerglings, and there's not much that Hoejja's going to be able to do with these Zerglings as long as Backho stays on his game. He's going to go in here and try and take out a probe, but those probes are just being microed away to another mineral patch, and they will be a-okay fine. And now Backho actually getting into Hoejja's base with a Zealot, gonna go in for some harassment of his own. Hopefully Hoejja's micro is also up to the challenge. He moved a lot of drones in order to deal with that Zealot, and he needs to get some Zerglings out very soon in order to deal with this Zealot. Drones do not like fighting Zealots. It is not a fun time for them. 2 Zerglings are out. They're going to try and micro against the Zealot. He might need some help from a drone or 2, and he should be able to take this out. And that Zealot does get a kill. Hoejja is not microing right now. He's not microing away from that Zealot, which is not good. And another Zealot in the in Backho's base. And now that Zealot went to the back of the mineral line there, and it's just going to sit there. And Zerglings are not going to be able to come in as well at good angles to get us a good surround there. And in the Backho's base, the Zerglings have been cleared out by that Zealot. And that Zealot in Hoejja's base finally goes down, but it did a significant, well, for itself, it did a significant amount of damage. It killed 1 or 2 drones and also killed some Zerglings, so it made up for itself. And the first Dragoon is out for Backho, and actually the way he built his wall, that Dragoon actually can't get out without going like through the top right, through that mineral patch. That Dragoon is actually trapped. But I assume that Backho, whenever he is ready to move out, will just blow up that, destroy that pylon himself, and then he'll be fine. But yeah, until that point, those Dragoons will pretty much just be primarily for defense. Templar Archives now going down for Backho. I didn't actually see a Stargate, oddly enough. No, didn't actually see a Stargate. Didn't see any Corsairs or anything. A 4th hatchery going down at the natural for Hoejja. Some more gateways going down. A Templar Archive. So this is not going to be a Corsair DT build. It will be a High Templar, maybe just straight up DT build. And Backho not blocking that back ramp. Hoejja throwing down a 5th hatchery. He's throwing down that. He's blocking that ramp with a Zealot and a Dragoon. This Zergling is not going to be able to do much of anything. It's probably just going to die real fast. Actually, it doesn't die, but yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. Hydra's going down for Hoejja at his 3rd base, along with an evolution chamber and a creep colony. So we will see what he's going to do with those. Scourge now out for Hoejja. He does not have a real good scout in right now because he doesn't know whether Stargates are down or yet. I don't think he's seen the Citadel. I don't think he's seen the Templar Archives. I don't think he's seen much of anything. So little does he know that if he went mutalist, if he had gone mutalist, he probably would be in a really good spot to do some harass. He's going to see the High Templar now, so he's going to know that something's going on. This is going to be 2 Archons are going to morph, and then I assume that this will be a +1 push. Yeah, the Forge is spinning, so this will be a +1 attack Zealot and Archon push. And actually, I think Hoejja will be in a pretty good spot to defend against this because he went for that Hydralisk den. He should have enough Hydralisk out to defend against this. And now he is going to break down that pylon as I expected, and then he will move out. He has a creep colony already down at the front at his natural. And he's also got a sunken colony. He's got a sunken colony and another creep colony going down at his 3rd. And Backho actually doesn't even know about that 3rd, but Hoejja is going to see this force as it comes out with some Zerglings. He does see them, and Backho should be careful that he doesn't get surrounded here by a lot of Zerglings. And another creep colony going down, another second colony going down at the natural base. And yeah, there are some Hydralisks at both of the bases. Some Hydralisks going out into an on position for Hoejja, going towards the top of the map. I wonder if they're going to morph into lurkers maybe and go for a hit from the behind the mineral lines there of the natural. And Backho going down here for the 3rd base. He's going to be greeted by 2 sunken colonies that are going to be very, very hard for him to get to. Yeah, he sees that those sunken colonies are well protected by the Hydralisk den and the evolution chamber. And yeah, it does look like Hoejja is going to be morphing those Hydralisks into lurkers, and I do believe he will be going for that back area. And a Zergling and a probe now in the top right, duking it out, and the Zergling obviously wins by a long shot. And 4 Zealots now coming out to clear this out, and Backho, I'm sure, is extremely suspicious right now. So he's got 4 Zealots at the top there to fend this off theoretically, and I think he will see the lurkers. Yeah, now he does see the lurkers, and that 1 Zealot will go down.